Senior Report thanks Edmund Besch of Bristol Burgess Insurance Agency, 65 East Main Street, Westfield, for his generous grant to provide news to seniors. Funding is provided by a grant from New York State Senator Catherine M. Young, representing Western New York's 57th District with a local office in Olean. Funding is provided by a grant from Absolute Care of Westfield, committed to returning the favor to those who spent a lifetime caring for others. Absolute Care is located at 26 Cass Street in Westfield. Dave Cass and Rick Newell provide funding on behalf of the Lakeview Hotel and Restaurant at the Docks, located on Water Street near the lake in Mayville. Senior Report with Reed Powers thanks Westfield's Chaut Chevy for a generous grant to inform seniors of important news. Over 50 years of service to Westfield by Chevrolet, Chaut Chevy across from the school. From the Access Channel 5 television studio in Mayville, it's Senior Report with Reed Powers. Senior Report is broadcast live throughout northern Chautauqua County on Saturday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. each week. Call in and share a thought, make a comment, ask a question, or simply wish someone a happy birthday on Chautauqua County's only live call-in senior program. Since 1995, Reed has been bringing viewers hundreds of interesting guests, informing the community on a variety of subjects. Here's the host of the show, Reed Powers.
And good morning. What a beautiful day we have here in Chautauqua County. Sun is beaming down, the birds are chirping, and the tulips are popping. What a day. We have a great guest here with us. He is the guy in charge of law enforcement at the end stage, Dave Foley. He's our Chautauqua County District Attorney for a number of years now. He'll be here to talk about law enforcement. He'll be here to talk about his work, what he's doing, and what you can be looking forward to in the future. I do want to say this. It's just a wonderful day coming up shortly. It'll be 2 weeks. That's Mother's Day. Don't forget. Invite somebody else's mother. You know, so a lot of mothers don't have any family nearby, and it's kind of a sad day. You can always put an extra plate at the table. Come on, guys. Hey. Look at the news on television. Of course, the national news is still the anti-First Amendment, which everybody is attacking secretly late at night without virtually any public knowledge or comment. The Congress slipped through a bill that made it a felony to protest whatever that they describe it as, wherever the Secret Service is. Secret Service is with the president, vice president, past presidents, candidates for president, and even sometimes congressmen, anybody who's had a death threat. You don't know where the Secret Service is going to be. And even if you don't, if you protest and they're there, they can arrest you for a felony. Yeah, that's not a misdemeanor. That's not a minor thing here. This is a felony. And you will go to jail for protesting. Whatever protesting is, they don't define that. Whatever their perimeter they will set up is. Remember, they're going to be at the convention. There are major things such as that big banking meeting over in Europe. Hey, this is incredible. And of course, Obama they slipped it to Obama, and he signed it without a wink. And that was law. It's the law now in this country. Forget the First Amendment, guys. Bye-bye. All right, that's something we should be really on to, and we should tell our next Congressman, Mr. Reed, about that. The war's going on and on. We got recent news that Obama's going to pull some troops out of Afghanistan, but they'll be there for another umpteen years, probably till 2020 or even further, maybe. This war is going to go on and on and on. You know, bankrupted Russia. England went under with it. Constantine actually lost everything. This is insane. Go up there and try to civilize the tribal companies in Afghanistan. It just doesn't work. In the meantime, we're losing more and more boys. They keep coming home in boxes, and it's costing us $1 trillion, guys, much as they try to fake the phony federal figures come in, you know, well, we're only spending this and this. Hey, they tuck it away. Goes to the military budget. Another thing I've noticed on the state level now is that the EPIC, the prescription drug program for New York State, has been restored. Cuomo cut it to the bone, basically did away with it, but it's back to where you get some money, a little help if you're indigent, if you haven't got a lot of dough. And that's very important. And same with education funds. They restored the funds to 2 years ago. But it doesn't mean we've had any increase in 2 years. We're now back to where we were 2 years ago. So, and believe me, in Chautauqua County, we use a lot of oil in the winter, among other things. Our costs are climbing like there's no tomorrow. You notice they're cutting positions. The schools are shutting down programs. I noticed in Westfield, I believe it was, there's going to be no more art for the first graders and the kindergartners, and who knows how extensive it will be. Probably no music, nothing else. Our local taxes are a big problem. I guess we'll have to ask Dave Foley about that. In Chautauqua County, last year, as Edwards, our county exec, said, Greg noted that this was a phony budget. They took a lot of the funding for last year's budget and put it into this year. In other words, they're going to have to take the money this year. But then there's a regular budget for this year. So suddenly we got 2 years worth of budgets almost that we got to make up in 1 year. And there's no way we're going to get a tax increase. That's been very abundantly made clear. There's going to be no other ways of raising funds excepting real estate taxes. And it's going to be a whopper. We warned you about this. You heard this first on Senior Report over a year ago. And stand back. We're already, without this increase, the highest tax county in the United States. Yes, indeed. Read your papers. Let's see what happens. We're going to have some of our county representatives. We're going to have Lori Cornell on shortly, and she will be able to explain how they're going to do this ledger domain. They claim they found $10 million. Now, how can the legislature miss $10 million, but they suddenly located it? But that'll help a little bit, hopefully. I've got a lot of good things going here. We're going to get a call shortly from John Hamels, who is our the spokesperson for the happy side, bluebirds and singing frogs and things like that. But in the meantime, I'm going to take a very brief break for a public service announcement for you. And this is just for you guys. It'll come on in a second or so.
Change lives. Tricia knows.
I completed my advance directive shortly after my father died. I chose my spokesperson carefully. When I had a stroke and needed emergency surgery, everyone knew exactly what I wanted and didn't want. I told my family that being independent was the most important thing to me. Those conversations saved my life, and I'm still living independently.
Start your conversation. Visit compassionandsupport.org.
Okay, there you go. I've got some local news I wanted to mention. First of all, remember that terrible train accident in Westfield. There's going to be a Reed, Halpenny, and Livermore benefit. There's a benefit for these the families of these kids. It's going to be May 13th. That's Sunday, next week. I guess that's on Mother's Day, isn't it? It is on Mother's Day. At the Westfield Firemen's Exempt Hall in Bourne Street in Westfield. You're going to cross the two railroad bridges in Westfield on Portage and take a right. And there's a spaghetti dinner, bake sale, live entertainment, auction, the Chinese auction, all kinds of things. And this will help the families with the medical costs and funeral expenses for these unfortunate children of ours. They were beautiful kids, and it's sad that such a thing has to happen. If your kids under 12 and under are free. How about that? There's a very small charge, $7 for adults, $5 for seniors, and kids under 12. 4 and under are free. I want to make sure we understand that. You're going to have a lot of stuff there. We're going to have Sean Patrick McGraw, Derek Davies for the entertainment, Davis, Rustic Ramblers, Cloud Called 9, who has a Diamond Jim is a great trumpet player, my son. Sean Wilder, a well-known prize-winning singer, will be there. So it's going to be a gala occasion. Mark that on your calendar, 12 noon till 7, Sunday on Mother's Day, May 13th. All right, I've got some local news here, fun stuff. We have the greatest senior groups in the world. I'm convinced of that. because of the fact that we have so many members who attend and are involved with it. And God bless the Y in Westfield and the VFWs and the American Legions and everything that give them a home, a place to stay. Lakeshore Seniors, that's a Fredonia crowd, they meet at the Dunkirk Senior Center, and the president there is Barb Barbarich. And if you know Barb, you can get in touch with her for the information about the program they have there, but it's a good one. They have a kitchen committee for May 16th, their next meeting. You'll meet Dorothy Cooper. And it says anybody can come around. 2 new members, Mary and Genevieve and Mary Mersall, are new members. And in the meantime, that's the lifeblood of any organization, is you got to get new members. You got to fill in spaces. People move or move on. Sheridan Happy Seniors, they have their own Happy Senior song, and I'm going to have them come over and sing that. I wish they would. 2 new members over there. I want to say hello and hats off. It's Jan Polisoto and Tony Arcara. They're having a bus trip, incidentally, June 12th to go to the Maid of the Mist, eat at the Red Coach Inn, and then to the aquarium. Very cheap. Good. You know, bus trips are fantastic with the seniors. They're inexpensive, good company, and they'll fill the bus with anybody who shows up after they filled with their own members. In other words, any senior group can send somebody over, and if you don't have a senior, they'll take kids, anybody who wants to go on the trip. It's a great trip. The dessert committee for the next meeting will be Josephine Wilcox, Carolyn Wood, Robert Ray, Vera Bell, and Anita Brown. That's a lot of dessert. May 11th, their next meeting over there at Sheridan Happy Seniors. Silver Creek Seniors, they have a beautiful clubhouse down the corner of 5 and 20 in Silver Creek, and they're trying to get a sign up. They said to the Silver Creek people, the village in town, they say, hey, please let us have a sign. Nobody knows where we are. I tried to find it one time. I couldn't. The guy over there who does the job is President Ed Newman, and his wife was recently in the hospital. She had some foot surgery, and probably, foot surgery can be very important, especially if you get a plantar's wart or something. That'll really hobble you. I want to say welcome her back anyway. Cindy McCoy tells us the members are encouraged to vote at the school on May 15th from 1 to 9 p.m. And anybody who has a school budget coming up, don't forget to go down and vote. Your vote counts anyway, even though you can only vote on about 5% of the entire budget, because the rest of it is all contractual, dictated by the state of New York. They only have a few things they can cut, such as music, art, all the good things. May 8th is the next meeting. Coming right up. Today is the 6th?
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo. Hey, Cinco de Mayo is a great Mexican holiday. Oh, yeah. Cinco de Mayo. Okay, May 5th. You know, May 1st is a big day worldwide. The French have a wonderful policy, ancient thing. They give May the little tiny lilies of the valley on May 1st to their true love. But unfortunately, we're 2 weeks behind Paris and France, so we have to wait till the middle of May to give our true love a bunch of these lilies of the valley. And they're so sweet. They have a wonderful fragrance. Quick note here about Mayville. We're in Mayville, and Mayville's been very good to Senior Report and to Access 5. And I just wanted to mention they have a great club over here. A lot of people show up. They have luncheon every time. They meet every couple of weeks. Thank you, VFW, at the bottom of the hill, which gives them a nice place to stay. And the person in charge over there is Joyce Ayers. And if you know Joyce, you can call her up and say, hey, we want to come over. Drop around. Ms. Goodrich read Grandfathers Don't Know Everything. I question that. My kids do. They seem to think I got eyes in the back of my head. And they ask me all kinds of funny questions. Wanda Gustafson reminded the group about the safe driving course being held May 9th and 10th. Good course. You get a big discount on your insurance, too. And it teaches you some tricky things, such as carry a body stocking in your trunk. Why do you do that? Well, because if you ever have a loss of one of your belts, you take it and twist it up and knot it on your belt on the items,